Yo, what's up, guys, man? Jude Bellingham. Let's talk about Jude Bellingham, man. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. When Jude first came to the scene, I did not rate this guy at all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did not rate him at all, even though he's way 10 times better than me. I did not rate him because I don't know. I just didn't see what people were seeing, right? But recently, he has grown on me, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. To be in Real Madrid and to performing the way he's performing and scoring goals week in, week out, and he's not even a striker. Whoa, my lord. You have to respect that, man. Like, you have to respect that. You can't even hate. He's not even a forward, and he's scoring goals. Vinicius is not scoring goals. Rodrigo is not scoring as many goals. Even the forward they have for Real Madrid, what is his name? What's that guy's name? I forgot. Is it Gonzalez? Is it Joselu? Whatever that guy's name is. Even he's not scoring goals, and he's the forward. But Jude is out here putting crazy performance, and you have to respect that. You can't hate. If you hate it, you're a hater, man. That's why I said, man, hands down, he's growing on me. So we better watch the rise of Jude Bellingham, man. How did he become so big, fam? I can't even pronounce his name right.
That when Jude Bellingham joined Real Madrid in the summer of 2023, that he would become the best player in the world overnight. But he did. And this is how it happened. This
insane.
Is where Jude Bellingham came from.
That's insane.
As of the first weekend in November 2023, Bellingham had scored 10 goals from 11 La Liga appearances and 3 from 3 starts in the Champions League. He is the...
That is insane, bro. That's just insane. 10 goals in just 11 matches. 3 goals of 3 Champions League matches. Oh my lord, yo, these numbers are just nasty, bruv. You know how it is to score as a professional? You know how hard it is to score? Scoring goals is hard, fam. That's why those who score, they get paid the big money. Because it is hard.
In the Champions League, he is the club's leading scorer in both competitions by far and has instantly become their defining factor. No game exemplified that more than El Clasico at the end of October, when Real came from behind to beat Barcelona. Bellingham's first goal was ripped in from 30 yards. His second was prodded home from close range. A 1-0 deficit became a 2-1 win at his hands, in what was the crowning moment in his career to date. But one of the reasons why Bellingham's emergence has been so startling is because he seems to be a different player to the one who left Borussia Dortmund, in role and effect. And that is the interesting dynamic. He first moved to Germany in 2020 at 17 years old, during a period when Dortmund were in a state of change. In his first season, he most often played alongside Thomas Delaney as part of a midfield two, with Marco Reus, Giovanni Reina and Jadon Sancho ahead of him, and Erling Haaland up front. During his second, with Sancho sold, Julian Brandt and Torgan Hazard were usually selected in the wide positions ahead of him in a 4-2-3-1, with Mahmoud Daoud or Alex Witsel next to him in a deep midfield. By his third and final year, Erling Haaland was gone too, replaced by Sebastian Haller, and players like Karim Adeyemi and Donyell Malen were occupying the wide attacking roles, with Bellingham either pushed forward into more of a number 10 role or alongside defensively minded holding midfield players like Emre Can or Selios Can. Bellingham was continuously forging new relationships on the pitch and adapting to the traits of new teammates. Because Dortmund's midfield was often in flux, Bellingham often also needed to be a more generalised player, partly because he was young and prone to lapses in positional discipline and a tendency to try to do too much, but also because Dortmund were no longer the system-led side that they'd once been under Jurgen Klopp, and Thomas Tuchel too, and depended on inspiration from their individual players. Bellingham was often a positive influence wherever he played, and so the tendency was for him to roam and to influence the game from many different areas. It showed his range, but it diluted his effect in any single area. And complicating the issue was managerial instability. Bellingham was signed to play for Lucien Favre. He was dismissed in December 2020 and replaced by interim Edin Terzic. Marco Rosa was then appointed for the following season, but lasted just a single year before Terzic was again appointed, this time on a permanent basis. Bellingham was not always the player that he has become. But part of the reason why his evolution has been so startling and so sudden is because for those 3 years in the Bundesliga, the change around him made it difficult for him either to be well defined or to grow into a single role, with performance data charting that specific evolution. In fact, his data from those seasons seems to describe 3 different players. These 3 charts from FBref.com show Bellingham's contribution in his 3 Bundesliga years relative to other midfielders. Particularly interesting is the changing nature of his defensive performance and the fluctuation in his areas of influence. And finally, this chart shows the last 365 days of his career, incorporating his performances at Real Madrid. So 2 obvious points first. Bellingham is now older and wiser. Having also been signed for over 100 million euros, he has gained a status in the game that he didn't previously have. The deeper texture to his performance, though, is that he's occupying a more designated role, as a number 10 ahead of Real Madrid's 3-man midfield of Fede Valverde, Aurelien Tchouameni and Eduardo Camavinga. And behind
All these guys are under 25 or under. All these guys, Camavinga, Bellingham, Valverde, I think Valverde is 25. Tuchmi is like, all these guys 25 and under, bruv. But it's like, yo, sometimes as a football player yourself and as a fan, it's like, yo, what the hell? These guys are the same age as me and they just, bro, they're here like flying high, fam. They're man, it makes you think. It's like, yo, what went wrong, man? What did I go wrong? You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, man, life is not fair, man. But you can't hate. You gotta appreciate it. My God, bro. 21 years old, he's out here leading a team like Madrid. Hey.
Head of Real Madrid's 3-man midfield of Fede Valverde, Aurelien Tchouameni and Eduardo Camavinga, and behind Carlo Ancelotti's 2-man attack of Joselu and Vinicius Jr. He's become a better player. He's also playing alongside superior players in a better side. And most importantly, his talent, really for the first time in his career, is being focused on a very specific area. Bellingham spends far less time in his own half than he ever has. He has more license to get forward and far fewer responsibilities without the ball. Among others, some of the interesting data contrasts between this season and last include a jump in Bellingham's touches in the opposition penalty box per 90, from 3.5 to 4.4. An increase in his carries into the penalty box, from 0.8 per 90 to 0.99. And a big spike in his progressive passes received, from 4.65 per 90, good enough for the 80th percentile among midfielders, to 5.74, now in the 97th. That last season in Dortmund saw Bellingham play by far his most attacking role at the club, and yet even so, his new profile now is as more of a target for attacking moves than before. It has been a remarkable rise, but it wasn't so long ago that Bellingham was a figure of fun. When Borussia Dortmund signed him as a 17-year-old in 2020, Birmingham City, his club since the age of 7, announced that they would be retiring his number 22 shirt. It made the club and player objects of derision. The 22 shirt has become synonymous with Jude, Birmingham wrote in their official statement. And as such, the club have decided it would be fitting to retire this number, to remember one of our own and to inspire others. Now, Bellingham was one of their own. He'd been born in Stourbridge, 20 miles from Birmingham, and there was a significance in the number itself. As a youngster, Bellingham had been challenged to become the complete midfielder by one of his first coaches. That is, part number 4, part number 8, and part number 10. Added together, of course, that made him a number 22, the shirt that he would wear at Birmingham and then later Dortmund and for England. 3 years later, Birmingham's decision to retire that shirt doesn't look so ridiculous. Imagine that you could learn everything that you need to know about football news in 10
Fam, respect, man. Oh my lord, yo, Bellingham, man. Jude Bellingham. I was calling him Birmingham at first, man. It's Jude Bellingham. Bruv. Fam, the dude is 21 years old, fam. 21 years old, fam. He's younger than me. 21 years old, way younger than me, fam. Hey, that's crazy. And he's at the top, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? As a player, it's like, fuck, I wish that was me. But as a fan, it's like, yo, you gotta appreciate football, man. I love watching players that are good, man. I enjoy that stuff, man. It's like, that's why I'm doing this channel. It's like, yo, I love playing, I love watching, I love talking about football. It's like, I can never get bored of it. I don't care if people watch me or don't watch me. I can never get bored of it. But man, Bellingham has grown on me, man. He's becoming a G. In a few years, if all goes well, no injuries, he might be a player that is definitely different from everybody else. Because a midfielder scoring like a striker, it's insane, bruv. Now we'll see how long this can take, man. Hopefully he doesn't get any injuries, man. Because I feel like at the moment, Real Madrid is having a lot of injuries. I don't know what the hell these young kids are doing. Doing too much parties, probably. It's too much partying, too many girls, man. Anyways, man, let me know what you thought about Bellingham. If you rate him, if you don't rate him, let me know in your comment section, fam.